Davies is forward with him. Olise!
What if Michael Olise joins Real Madrid? That single transfer could be the moment European football realizes Real Madrid have become unstoppable.
If this somehow happens, it is not just over for Barcelona. It is not just over for La Liga. It is not just over for the Champions League. It is over for the whole world.
Think about it. A front line with Mbappe, Vinícius on the left, Michael Olise pulling strings on the right, Jude Bellingham arriving from midfield. It sounds like something you'd build on career mode. Yet reports from France suggest this dream isn't as impossible as it first sounds. There's just one enormous obstacle. Bayern Munich don't want to sell.
The problem is, and we stay like this, is that Bayern Munich are not going to sell him this summer. Not even to Real Madrid, not even to anybody else.
So today, we're breaking down exactly what would happen if Real Madrid somehow completed one of the biggest transfers of the decade, and why it might create a team even Europe's best wouldn't know how to stop. Start with his rise from Crystal Palace to Bayern Munich. Many wondered if his elegant style could survive the pressure of a European giant. Instead, he elevated his game to another level. His first season in Germany was spectacular.
He was Bundesliga Player of the Year, not Harry Kane. For those that have been saying it's Harry Kane, it wasn't Harry Kane. So he definitely has pedigrees, played, won leagues, of course, won the league with Bayern Munich. One of their best players, if not their best player.
He established himself as one of Bayern's most dangerous attackers, drifting inside from the right, operating between the lines, combining in tight spaces where most players panic. He made it look easy. Statistically, he ranked among Bayern's leaders in progressive carries, successful dribbles, key passes, expected assists, and chances created. His ability to manipulate defenders 1 versus 1 is elite, but the numbers only tell half the story. His greatest weapon is football intelligence. Every movement is calculated seconds ahead. Every touch creates space where none existed. He doesn't just beat defenders, he outthinks them, then makes them chase shadows. That's why Real Madrid have admired him for so long. Florentino Perez targets players who can dominate for a decade, not just strengthen the current squad.
You know, I've been telling you several times that the obsession, the dream, the beloved player of Florentino Perez is Michael Olise. Florentino Perez, when speaks to people into Real Madrid, keeps mentioning that Olise was born to play for Real Madrid. In terms of style, in terms of quality.
Olise fits the philosophy perfectly. 24 years old, entering his peak, already performing at a world-class level.
That's the same type of player where you have the pace, you have the skill, you have the cleverness, and he's 24. He's not 18 like Lamine, but he's only 24. And you can feel that already the experience is there.
Reports from France suggest he views Real as the ultimate destination. Conversations with teammates like Mbappe and Tchouaméni have happened.
The player wants to join Real Madrid. He's spoken to Mbappe and Tchouaméni about the club. Florentino Perez is a big fan. Real Madrid will go all in. After the World Cup, he has formed his camp of his desire to join Real Madrid.
But treat these as reports, not confirmed agreements. No official bid yet. Bayern Munich have never considered themselves a selling club. They operate from financial stability, not desperation. Their philosophy is simple: sell only when it benefits Bayern, not when another club wants a star. History proves it. Ribéry during Madrid's pursuit, they held firm. Lewandowski before his eventual move, they made him wait.
There's been two big instances, of course, with Liwa, when Madrid wanted him in 2017, 2018, 2019, and they basically just ignored everything. And Ribéry, if you guys are too young to remember, Real Madrid wanted Ribéry in 2008, 2009, just before Perez's second stint, just before Ronaldo came and everything, and they wanted Ribéry.
Davies' contract saga. They controlled the timeline. Outside pressure rarely influences their decisions. Selling Olise this summer makes almost no sporting sense. He represents both present and future.
They have been very clear about their intent to keep Michael Olise, and that Michael Olise is going nowhere, and that they're not taking any money from anybody, and that Michael Olise is part of their present and their future. They have repeatedly set this.
Replacing his creativity, ball progression, and tactical flexibility is virtually impossible, no matter how much money arrives. Even a fee exceeding 200 million euros creates another problem. Who replaces him?
It can't replace Michael Olise with anyone. You're letting go one of the best players in the world. And yes, you can invest on it. You can invest on that 200 million or 210 or 205 or whatever it is, but you're not going to get the same quality, the same output, the same ability as what Michael Olise has given you over the past 2 years, specifically last season.
Very few players have comparable qualities. Almost every alternative would be a downgrade. Bayern's not in the business of getting weaker. Multiple respected journalists consistently report Bayern's position is unchanged. They consider Olise fundamental to their long-term project. That's not posturing, that's their actual stance. Real Madrid face a familiar dilemma: wait for future windows or present an offer so extraordinary Bayern reconsider. History suggests patience is more likely. Florentino Perez has often waited years for priority targets.
If there will be 1%, even 1% chance to sign Olise this summer, in January, in summer 2027, in summer 2028, or I don't know when, at any moment, Real Madrid will be there. Because Florentino is in love, because everyone at Real Madrid believes that Olise is the perfect player to complete their squad.
Player desire matters, but there has been no public statement from Olise about leaving. Until he takes a definitive stance, Bayern maintain complete control.
After the World Cup, what if he asks them to leave the club? Does a deal happen then? Or are they going to take the Atletico Madrid route and say it does not matter, we're not going to sell you? But I think with Real Madrid willing to spend over 200 million on this player, if Olise wants the transfer, I do think we can see a here we go this summer.
Mourinho has always demanded balance before individual brilliance. His best teams didn't just attack, they suffocated opponents, then struck with precision. Adding another superstar only works if the collective structure becomes stronger, not weaker. Olise's adaptability makes him perfect for that approach. Starting on the right, he naturally drifts into central pockets. That movement pulls defenders out of position and creates space for overlapping fullbacks. It also generates numerical superiority between midfield and defensive lines, which is exactly where Mourinho wants his attackers to operate. His left foot is among Europe's most refined, through balls that split defenses, in-swinging crosses that find runners in exactly the right spot, curling finishes that leave goalkeepers frozen. He can do all of it.
You know what he's doing. You know exactly where he wants to go, but you can't stop it because that first step is so quick, and the quickness of dropping the shoulder, and then of course the accuracy on the shot. Yeah, sometimes it's tough to stop somebody like him.
Picture the attack for a second. Vinícius stretching the left side, forcing defenders wide. Olise manipulating defenders on the right, patiently waiting for the gap. Mbappe occupying centre-backs with his movement, keeping them honest. Bellingham arriving late from midfield, completely unmarked. Every defense faces impossible choices. Commit to one attacker, and another finds space. Double team Vinícius, Olise gets room. Close down Olise, Mbappe runs in behind. Olise also solves a specific problem Real Madrid have struggled with against deep defensive blocks, the kind of parked buses that Mourinho faced throughout his career. Madrid sometimes lacks a specialist who unlocks compact structures through pure creativity, rather than transition speed. Olise thrives in those environments.
Right now, that is how good he is. A player that has come so close to breaking Lionel Messi's record of most assists in a single season. A player that we have seen give assists in the Champions League, give assists in the Bundesliga, give assists in the World Cup, perform for club and country.
Close control in tight spaces, disguised passing that defenders can't read, patience to wait for the right moment instead of forcing the wrong one. Set pieces become a weapon too. His delivery from corners and free kicks consistently ranks among Europe's best. Every dead ball turns into a genuine scoring opportunity. For a team with Real Madrid's aerial threats, that changes games. But integration creates headaches. Rodrigo's future becomes uncertain when he returns from injury. He's too good to sit on the bench, but where does he fit?
If Olise is signed, hypothetically, if he has been signed, right? Diaz is going to have to go. And probably Rodrigo's also is going to be under pressure in terms of whether he's going to stay or not.
Arda Güler's pathway into the starting 11 gets harder. Mourinho may need to adjust his system entirely, a fluid front three with constant positional rotation, or a creative number 10 behind Mbappe, allowing Olise more freedom to drift. Either way, someone loses minutes. Defensively, Mourinho will demand contributions without possession. That's non-negotiable under him, but Olise has shown tactical discipline under demanding coaches before. He tracks back, he presses intelligently, he's not a luxury player, he's a complete one. Despite everything, one obstacle remains: Bayern simply do not appear interested in negotiating. That aligns perfectly with their historical approach. They've done this before, they'll do it again. This saga could drag on for windows, not weeks.
I don't think he's going to move this summer. However, next summer, they can go again, they will probably go again. I think he'd be far more keen. That would leave Bayern Munich time to replace Michael Olise, to have a plan A, plan B in case he leaves, and to be much prepared for it than they would be now, end of July, if he was going to leave in August, for example. So for me, in a year's time, we will talk about another Olise saga to Real Madrid.
But football has taught us to never dismiss impossible moves too quickly. David Alaba was supposed to stay at Bayern for life. Real Madrid chased him for years before landing him on a free transfer. Mbappe was never coming until he did.
A couple of years ago, they said exactly the same thing about Kylian Mbappé, and then a year or so later, they signed him when his contract ran out at PSG.
Football has a habit of turning today's impossible rumours into tomorrow's unforgettable unveilings. If Real Madrid succeed, European football could witness one of the most technically gifted attacking units ever assembled. Olise's creativity, paired with Vinícius's explosiveness, Mbappe's clinical finishing, combined with Bellingham's intelligent runs. Mourinho would have tactical flexibility few managers have ever enjoyed. Every opponent would face 90 minutes of relentless pressure from players who decide matches through individual brilliance. One moment of magic from any of them can change a game. Having 4 of them on the pitch at the same time, that's a nightmare for any defense. But football is rarely won through fantasy lineups.
I don't think it's common these days to see a team with too many superstars win. We look at Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi. We look at this France team, guys. This France team has probably the top 3 aggregate attackers in the entire world. And they didn't even do anything in a knockout game versus Spain. They had no chances. I don't think it works, bro.
Chemistry matters, balance matters, timing matters, patience matters. All of those things often matter more than transfer headlines. The Galáctico era proved that throwing superstars together doesn't guarantee trophies. For now, Olise remains a Bayern player. Their message is unwavering. He is not for sale. Until that changes, every headline is part of transfer theatre, noise designed to fill content, not reflect reality. Still, the question isn't whether Olise is good enough for Real Madrid. His performances already answered that. The real question is whether Real Madrid can convince the one club that almost never says yes. If they somehow do, European football may have to prepare for another Galáctico era unlike anything we've seen before. Olise isn't just another signing, he's the missing piece that could turn a team full of stars into an unstoppable machine. Subscribe if you want to see where this story goes. Share it with someone who needs to know why this transfer matters.